Allie, welcome to my world, bitch. Today, I'm just gonna make some recommendations for TV shows that I think you should watch, or one TV show in particular. So as I'm sure you're aware, I love TV, I love movies, it's everything, it's amazing. I like to have them on the background. Like at the moment, I'm going through Arrested Development for the first time, and like, it's actually really funny. Like, it's really good. I also binged all of Big Mouth last night. I mean, just like the new season 4, because it just came out last night. And oh my god, it's disgusting and it's so weird, but it's so freaking funny. So I also watched The Queen's Gambit this week, which is great. I watched it because like the girl in the poster, striking, like just ridiculously, how do you look like that, you beautiful? Like I can't even, just how? It had the Queen in the title and I was just like, oh my gosh, royals. I love that shit. I just finished The Crown, let's do it. Turns out it's a show about chess. But also this is probably one of my favorite memes to come out of that show. There's more than one and they're all just so amazing. They're just great. It's a great show. It's about some great memes. And also just had to ask the question, like, why did they cast these two people? I mean, I love them both. They're so beautiful and everything else they've ever been and they're amazing. But why did they cast them? Because they look like twins. They literally do. You cannot tell me they do not look closely related. And then last week, I watched all of the latest season of The Crown, which was also really, really excellent and really, really great, and just made me so mad because Diana was treated so poorly. And Charles just becomes more and more of a dickhead. And that's sad because so much potential in that person. Princess Anne steals the show, or she actually comes second in stealing the show because Princess Margaret, actually, you know, not the dark horse at all. She has stolen the show in every season so far because she's amazing, okay? She's the freaking blueprint, okay? Like this tweet says, it says everything that I've ever felt while watching The Crown, and it's amazing. Now, with all of these shows, there is always a variety of different kinds of representation that we find. You know, I mean, Big Mouth has a lot of youngins doing disgusting things, but it's really, really funny, and that's why we love it. But it also kind of addresses a lot of, like, you know, relatable puberty things that we all remember, and also a lot of mental health stuff that we all remember and possibly are currently dealing with. So that's really, really fun, and it's nice to be able to see yourself on screen. So diversity is a thing that's really, really important in screen, because, you know, I myself saw myself in Belle from Beauty and the Beast because she was a girl with dark hair who read a lot, and that was me as a kid. That was it, and that was all it took for me to be like, that's me, I align with her, I see her on the screen, I see me. But a lot of other people don't get that. They don't have that feeling of seeing themselves on the screen, whether it's because they're queer or because they aren't white. And that's something that really needs to change. And, you know, we've seen a lot of growth in that over the last couple of years, but I think a lot of people still aren't aware of a lot of these projects. And so today I'm going to draw your attention to an amazing show. The show is called Pose, and it's based in New York City in like the 80s, around the underground ballroom scene of queer people of color, and the found families and the houses, or the teams that they form to support one another and develop one another and make them feel loved, because they're often rejected by their actual biological families, and it's so beautiful. Ugh. So the draw for this show for me, you know, was on the poster. It was this beautiful person. I just couldn't even believe how beautiful this person was. I'm just like, how are you allowed to be that beautiful? I cannot even with how beautiful you are. Also, Evan Peters was on the poster, and we love that guy. He was introduced to us through a lot of other Ryan Murphy shows. However, I was introduced to him through Sleepover. This boy is dynamic as hell. Ryan Murphy produced it, and everything else that he touches seems to be amazing. You know, he did Glee and Nurse Ratched and American Horror Story and American Crime Story, and just like all of these amazing shows that we love. And so I was like, you know what, let's give this other one red hot crack. And I have no regrets, it's amazing. The reason that I kept watching actually had nothing to do with, you know, the need to continue watching a Ryan Murphy production or anything to do with Evan Peters even, because he kind of sucks in this show. Like, his character is crap. But it was the women who starred in this show that got me really, really hooked. So Blanca is a Dominican trans woman who has dreams of building her own house and found family, and not being discriminated against for being a Dominican trans woman. She just wants to work and live her life and show people the love that she didn't really receive. And she's wonderful, and I love her so much. If you hurt her, I will hunt you down and kill you.
I would make them suffer so much that they'd wish they were never born. And if they ran, I would hunt them down.
Thank you, Kathy.
Angel is another trans woman of color forced into sex work because she can't get a job anywhere else because prejudice. We love that. Prejudice is so much fun, guys. Oh my god. Electra is another black trans woman who is the queen of all the house mothers in the world of ballroom, and she does not have work, but she is actually supported by numerous sugar daddies but they keep her a secret because transphobia. So again, oh my god, so much fun. Guys, how much do we love transphobia? Oh my god. We also have Lulu, who is a vibe and a half, and this bitch steals the show for me. Like, anytime she's on the screen, that's where my focus directly goes to. She's amazing. And her best friend Candy, who is so funny. I'm just trying to give you an introduction to be like, this is what this show's about. Just like give it a go, because like it's really good. So essentially Blanca builds her own house, and so in these houses they compete at the ballrooms every Friday night, and it's also like their family and they support each other, and so it's like the house mother is like not like the top of the pyramid, Abby Lee Miller, but like the top person who kind of like makes all the rules and follows up with all that kind of stuff, and they're all her children. So Blanca builds a house and invites literally everyone. She doesn't literally like build a house like hammer and nails, like she rents a place and it's just like, hey, come live here. She recruits some young and lost people of color into the world of ballroom who otherwise would have been homeless. So meet little Papi, who is honestly just the sweetest thing. Like, the more I just love him so much. He's the sweetest. And Damon, who really just gets the push that he needs from his new mother Blanca, because we stand the queen. She's amazing. She encourages him to go to dance school because that's his passion, and he's just like, oh, but I can't because my family kicked me out because I'm gay and they hate me and they don't want anything to do with me anymore. And she's just like, yeah, but I'm your mother now. Bitch, you're going to dance school. We also have Pretel, who is played by Billy Porter, who before this show, like, to me, he was just like this random fashion icon who just showed up at all the award ceremonies and stuff and just breaking all of the gender rules, and like I loved him for it. But it turns out he's like a full proper singer, and he even sings in the show sometimes, and it's so great, and like I'm living for it. It's amazing. He's a highlight, honestly. Him and Blanca, their friendship, and then when they sing together, guys, it was such a surprise that they would just start singing. Like, it's not like a musical like Glee. Like, they sing for a reason like they've really sung twice, like once a season, but like it's so good. If you want to be surprised by incredible vocals and a beautiful friendship, this is a show for you. Throughout the show's currently 2 seasons, we meet everyone, we get a feel for the world that they live in, and the difficulty of not only being a person of color, but being queer, whether it's trans or gay or what else. You know, we have a really diverse cast of characters, not just for the sake of diversity, but because the story requires it and they follow it. And it's so great. Like, all of the women playing trans women are actually trans women. And all of the men playing gay men are actually gay men. And it's just really nice to see that representation that previously hadn't been extended, and to see this show about a community that I didn't even know existed until I saw the show. And I think that's why representation is so important, not only for, you know, entertainment, because the show is really entertaining and beautiful, but also it's really educating. And I think it really shows the struggles of the Black queer community at that time, and how it's still a struggle for them today. We see their world, we see their relationships, and we watch them deal with regular things like finding work and running out of money, and the competition of ballroom and the competition between houses, but also major setbacks like HIV and AIDS, and watching literally all your friends die, and also hate crimes, because that happens a lot. I think it's really important that people are aware of the stuff that goes on, even if it doesn't directly affect them. Patti LuPone also makes an appearance in season 2, which is really fun. She doesn't sing, but like, it's fine. Overall, it is a really amazing show. It's so great, but not many people know about it. Like when my friends, we catch up and they're just like, oh, what are you watching at the moment? And I'd be like, oh, I'm just catching up on Pose. And they'd be like, I've never heard of this. It is so good and you will not regret watching it. Even if you're a person who doesn't want to respect pronouns or whatever, this show is really illuminating. And it's actually part of the reason that I decided to be like massively in support of the trans community. Because I fell in love with these characters because they're people. They feel like real people. Because you know what? Fun fact: trans people are actual real people. Can you believe it? But not enough people know about this show, and the thing is, you should, because it's amazing. It's dramatic. It's comedic, and I'm always learning. Every episode, I'm learning something new. And there need to be more shows like this. It's showing a world that most of us never knew existed. We've never even seen this kind of thing before, and it's offering a chance to people who don't see themselves represented on screen. It's a chance for them to recognize themselves in this, which I think is really, really special. I have honestly nothing bad to say. It's tasteful, but it still holds on to the gritty integrity of the subject matter. I think that's kind of a big problem with some shows and movies and stuff. So like, for example, Bohemian Rhapsody, right? Great movie, whatever, but where was the grit? Where was the realism of the struggle? It just wasn't there. And that's why I think I preferred the Rocket Man movie, because it showed the struggle and the grit and all that kind of stuff. It shows the beauty of this world, but also all of the downfalls and how difficult it is to be a person in this community. Yeah, anyway, love it. Cannot recommend it enough. Chef's kiss all round. It's amazing. Thank you for watching. If you got this far, might as well like and subscribe. Might as well just drop a little click, because I like attention. I have a YouTube channel and I'm an actor. Of course I like attention. Get it down. Yeah, don't be a dick. Bye.